Went from condos to Pop's house. On calls, now bus routes.
New details on a shooting we first brought you yesterday morning. A man killed in South LA on Halloween night is the son of a former rap executive and alleged former gang leader.
34-year-old Jabari Henley is the son of Eugene Henley, better known as Big U. Eugene Henley once managed Nipsey Hussle and is alleged to be the former leader of the Rollin' 60s Crips gang. Police say Jabari was shot and killed near Figueroa and 69th Street after he walked up to a vehicle and someone inside opened fire before driving off. Police say his father's gang ties are a major part of the investigation.
Wow. Really sad news, man. You know, it's sad to hear about anybody passing away. Especially right down the street. You know, I'm from LA. This was only a couple of miles from where I'm at. You know, and you know, we've been hearing about these murders a lot more lately, man, especially in LA, and it's always a sad thing to hear, because every time you hear it, it's always young people. You know, someone getting murdered, it's not ever good to hear. I'm just saying, it's always someone under the age of 40. You know, Big U's son was 34 years old. And it's really sad, man. Before I start, I just want to say, you know, my condolences to Big U and his family. You know, to be locked up and have to hear about this, it hit me. It hit me hard. You know, because I personally know Big U, not on a we kicking it homies type level, but everyone know I've done a big interview with Big U, the interview that everybody has used on their platforms, especially after Big U got locked up, right? So just to see someone who you know or have some type of connection with, you know, lose their son while being locked up, man, I don't wish that on nobody at all. You know, so yeah, man, my condolences go out to Big U and his family, man. You know, it's just really sad and tragic. I want to point out a couple of things. You know, and I'm not going to touch on too many things, because I think you should definitely at this point in time give the family space without throwing any type of, you know, negativity or hatred, or without throwing any salt on this situation, right? You got to give the family space to mourn. A lot of people don't do that. Me personally, I'm always going to do that, right? But I want to point out a couple of things that I think is important. So right here, let me read this first. It says TMZ can confirm via family sources Jabari was shot to death late Friday night. This was on Halloween too. The Los Angeles Police Department tells TMZ officers were called to the intersection of 69th Street and Figueroa Street just after 11 p.m. where the victim, a 34-year-old black male, succumbed to his injuries, right? I'm going to go down. I want to read. Let me continue, because I'm reading this for a reason. We're told the victim approached a vehicle and was shot. The suspect who was sustained, the suspect who was stationed outside a smoke shop in South LA fled the scene and has not been identified, right? TMZ obtained footage on the grim scene, which shows LAPD officers arriving and attempting life-saving measures on Jabari. Later, the LA Fire Department is seen covering Jabari's body with a tarp. Music mogul Loose Cannon, who is currently housing with Big U at the Metropolitan Detention Center in LA, tells TMZ he learned of the news first and then spoke to Big U. Luce, who says Big U is his uncle, tells us they are both heartbroken over the matter, and being in prison doesn't make it easier. However, he says God makes no mistakes, and the pair will get through the trying time together. Now, I want to point something out, because there is something that I think a lot of people need to really understand when it comes down to LA. That is very important. And I am 100% sure Big U agrees. So nothing that I'm about to say, I don't think is disrespectful, or I don't even think it's too early to say this, but I think it's important, because when it comes down to this platform, at the end of the day, it's all about learning a lesson from a situation, right? When I read, we're told the victim approached a vehicle and was shot, that stuck with me, because I don't know about other places. I only can speak for LA. We know in LA, you don't walk up to no cars, man. You don't walk up to no vehicles. I don't care who you are. You're going to get out and come and talk to me. I'm not walking up to nobody's car, because I don't know what you got inside of that car. You better be my mother if you think I'm going to walk up to your car at nighttime on a Friday during Halloween. Nah, I'm not walking up to your car. That is not happening. So that right there, it really shocked me when I heard that he walked up to someone else's car. I'm like, nah, your pops is Big U. You know what's up. So I believe it's more to the story, because I'm sure Jabari wasn't an individual who just walked up to cars. So we know there's more to this story, and there's more that's going to come out. You know, just to tell a quick little story, you know, I mention it all the time. I started my business around 2012, right? 2012, 2013, around that time. And there was one point in time where I was just hiring anybody. I was just hiring people, you know, trying to fill up whatever cases I had. And I'll never forget, it was one young man who I hired him, and he worked for me a couple of times. And after working for me for about a month, there was a time frame he continued to try to get me to come around him by myself, right? Now, at this time, I didn't have an office, but I did have a station area. So I remember a time he was at my station area, and he was like, hey, and this was late. I'm talking about this 11, 12, I think, at night, because he wouldn't come in the day. Because I told him one time, hey, come in the daytime. Oh, no, I got another job, so I got to come at night. But he wanted me to meet someone to give them services, right? Because, you know, we work with the elderly community. So he wanted me to meet someone in the car, and he came by at least 3 times trying to get me to meet this person at 11 something at night in a car. And he wanted me to come to the car where he wanted to park. For instance, if I said, hey, just come park on the street right there by the door, you know, I can even see you from outside, just park right there. You know, and you know, we'll go from there. Oh, nah, I got to park, you know, back here. It's just, you know, it's a little bit safer because, you know, cops be coming up and down this street, and I don't want people all in our business. You know, if you over here talking to, you know, the client, you know, who I want you to service and everything like that. And I never went outside. I was like, this is the weirdest situation I've ever heard of. And I remember he tried one last thing. He said he had a client who was going to do private pay, and they had a deposit. They wanted to put down a $5,000 deposit, but I would have to come to their home. It was 1 a.m. what I knew from that situation is that this dude is trying to set me up. He's definitely trying to set me up. I'm not finna go out there to his car. I'm definitely not finna go to whatever house he want me to go to. It's not happening. This dude is trying to get me. See, when you come from the city, you have these type of instincts. When you come from the Watts, the Comptons, you know, the South Centrals and things like that, you know, Inglewoods, when you come from these places, you have that instinct because people die every day walking up to cars. People die every day walking up in houses and buildings that they should not be in. This happened on a daily basis in LA. You walk on the next block and your block is from a different hood, you're going to get murdered. Let alone walking up to someone who is in their car is just a big no-no. So when I heard that he walked up to someone's car, I was like, nah, that's suspicious. Because most people in LA know you don't walk up to no one's car, man. Most people around the world should know you don't walk up to no one's car. But I'm just saying, it's real grimy in LA. I live out here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, I'm at peace because I've been out here my entire life. That's for one. For two, I got God in my life. I put him first. I'm talking about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So I don't fear no man, but I'm not stupid. I'm not finna go out there and make a dumb move to now put my life in jeopardy. God got my back, but we got to be smart. So I think that we're going to hear a lot more that come out of this. Now, I'm not saying we're going to, you know, we may hear who it was when it comes down to the suspect. Maybe, maybe not. You know, when it comes down to the streets don't really talk. I'm saying that we're going to find out more in regards to, well, why did he go up to that car? Why was he in that area? You know, and there was a couple of videos, a couple of people was talking about it and everything. But I'm just saying, there's still a lot that people don't know. A whole lot. I just know this is not common the way this situation happened. It's not common. It's not common at all. You know, for one, you know, he was in Hoover territory. He was in a, you know, different, you know, hoods area. Some say he had somebody he was talking to out there and things like that. You know, who knows? You know, but knowing Big U with what I know of Big U and understanding that Big U is going to make sure his sons understand and know better when it comes to these streets. I just believe there was more to it than him just simply, they calling me. Let me go over here, walk up to this car and then get murdered. I believe there's more to it. But the only thing that this is what I say, and I end it with this, man. At the end of the day, it's important that someone get something from the things that we're talking about, you know, on this channel, right? First and foremost, people got to know whether you're from here or you coming from out of town. LA is a very dangerous place. You don't play in LA. You got to know how to move in LA. You got to know where to go in LA. You got to know and understand what block you on in LA. You can't just move loosely in LA. You just can't. I always say, and this is very important to pay attention to what I'm about to say. If you don't know no one in LA, don't come to LA. Don't just come here just to have fun. I mean, now, if you're a tourist and you're from another country and you're going to be taking a little TMZ bus ride and everything like that, you know, I mean, so be it, right? I'm talking to people who come out here. Oh, I want to see if maybe one day I can move out there. So you coming out here living in downtown LA, maybe the some parts of Hollywood that don't cost as much, or even end up in a hood because you're looking for cheap places to stay in when you move out here. So now you end up in Compton or Watts. You know what I'm saying? You know, you end up in one of these places because you don't really understand what's going on out here. I'm telling you all, if you don't personally know someone that's down here that could show you how to move in LA, don't come to LA. Definitely don't move to LA. And this is where I'm from, and I'm telling y'all this. I'm saying this because we are seeing this way too much. There's people who live in LA, been here their entire lives, that is dying every day. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna tell this one more story. Then I'm gonna end it. You know, I had a really close friend, you know, named George back in the days. I was probably around 19 at this time. And I remember I went over to, he used to hook up the beat in my car. And I remember one time I went to his house to get some, you know, something done in my car. He was going to hook up some sounds, right? And he wasn't looking too good. He was looking like sad and paranoid. And I'm like, what's wrong, bro? He was like, well, my homie cousin just passed away, who lived down the street, and they had a funeral. You know, at this funeral, his family members from different states came down, and he had two cousins who came down who lived in Georgia. He said when they came down, they went to the funeral, and they, you know, they was at the family member, you know, son who passed. They were at the house, you know, having dinner or something like that. But they were dressed in red. And they just wanted to go down to the store, to walk down to the store to get something to drink, you know, just like normal, right? Hey, let's go get something to drink really quick. So they left the house, and next thing you know, the family inside the house hear gunshots. Both of those cousins who were brothers got murdered because they were wearing red. Just because they were wearing red. Wrong place at the wrong time. They came down to LA to their cousin's funeral, and now they parents have to have a funeral for them because of the colors they were wearing. That's LA for you, man. It's raw. It's ruthless. So if you could take anything from this video, if you in LA, you gotta understand how to move. You gotta be smart, because it's really grimy out here. It's really grimy out here, man. You know, so again, my condolences go out to Big U and Big U's family. It's always sad, you know, losing a loved one. You know, and you know, at the end of the day, man, everybody turn your life over to Christ, man. Life is short. It don't last long at all. We're here for this amount of time, and then it's over. It's over. So with the little life you got, make sure that you are connected to God, and just try to be smart. That way, you could teach others something because you utilize wisdom while you were here.
I had to show 'em that I wasn't made.